What's going on, everybody? My name is VladimirCR, and thank you for checking out my channel. Welcome back. Today is going to be a little different. Today is going to be a little bit different because I'm actually recording this before, the day before Veterans Day, so on Friday. But tomorrow, meaning today for you guys watching this, is Veterans Day in the United States. Now, I believe I may have alluded once or twice to the fact that both myself and my wife were active duty in the military at one point in time. I was in the United States Navy, and she was in the United States Air Force. She achieved the rank of a technical sergeant, I believe, and which I'm not sure which one that is. I'm not familiar with Air Force rankings, so I apologize for that. But I achieved the rank of Petty Officer Second Class, which in the American Navy is an E5, which is about halfway up the enlisted ladder in the sense of pure stages. And I wanted to take the opportunity before this video begins to give a serious reminder for a moment, and then we'll get into some gameplay. But I wanted to remind everyone watching this right now, at least on the day that it's recorded, that Veterans Day isn't just a countrywide celebration in terms of, oh, yay, we're awesome, America's great and everything. It's not just that. It's that too, but it's not just that. Excuse me. Veterans Day is actually more along the lines of remembering our fallen soldiers and our missing in actions and our killed in actions and veterans of wars, both foreign and domestic. And today, for the first couple of minutes of the video, I just wanted to give a shout out to anyone who has ever been in the United States military or any military in any part of the world, whether active, reserve, or retired, or what have you. If you served, I wanted to take the time out to personally thank you. And I know that while she's not here right now, I speak for my wife also when we say that from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. And I just wanted to let you guys know that from my perspective, while being in the military isn't necessarily an easy thing, it puts a lot of stress on families and relationships, and we make these choices to join the military and to do what we do because we want to fight for our country, to make our country great. But in any case, I just wanted to thank every veteran, now or in the future or past, of any war. So again, from my wife and I, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you very much. It was a pleasure serving with you, and we hope that your return to the States was very fortunate, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And again, for a moment, I just wanted you guys to see it. If you couldn't see it, my shirt, there we go, United States Navy. I was planning on putting on one of my uniforms, but being inactive now and not retired, I didn't retire, I just got out, but I didn't feel like it was right for me to put on the uniform again. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd be within grooming standards and whatnot, but I didn't feel like it was right since I'm not active duty now. But in any case, for the last time, thank you guys, veterans and everyone else alike. Thank you guys so much for what you've done for the country. We appreciate it. And for those of you wanting to say thanks to all the veterans, on behalf of at least my wife and I, we thank you. So now, in honor of Veterans Day, I wouldn't mind if you guys would join me for just a minute in a moment of silence, just for a few minutes or a few seconds, to basically honor and remember those that we've lost. So if you guys will join me for a moment of silence, we will get on with the gameplay. So please and thank you. Thank you very much for those of you that participated. I appreciate it. Now, what you guys all came here for. Gameplay. Now, like I said, this is going to be a little bit different. The way I'm going to edit this is that this video is going to be the first thing you guys see, and it will be full screen because I don't necessarily want to give away what I'm playing just yet. It's a little different, and it's probably not going to make a permanent place in my rotation unless I decide to later. But right now, as of right now, it's not going to take a place in my rotation. This is a one-off type of thing, specifically for Veterans Day. Now, I figured, what better way to remember our veterans and to thank our veterans and to basically be in memoriam of our veterans than to play a game that features one of the most bloody and one of the most bloody and pointless conflicts in history. And that is World War I. Today, we will be playing Battlefield 1. We will not be playing multiplayer, we will be playing campaign. Now, as a disclaimer, I do want to say that some of the things that you guys may see on this video might be a little hard to see. The game is pretty doggone accurate when it comes to warfare and whatnot, but I just wanted you guys to know that this is the best way I can think of to make sure we all remember what our veterans have fought for and will fight for in the future. But in any case, without further ado, I present to you Battlefield 1. And today, on Battlefield 1, we will be playing the runner. Sorry, I need volume. So hold on, let me restart that so that you guys can hear the story. Here, listen.
We came from all over the world, the innocent, the arrogant, and the brave. We thought the war was to be our rite of passage, a grand adventure that would make us all equal in our quest for glory. But instead of adventure, we found fear. And in war, the only true equalizer is death.
Okay, I'm going to return my audio levels to normal, and we will get right into this thing. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Let's get right into it. I'm also going to say that this may end up being a longer video, which I do not have a problem with. I did want to go ahead and forewarn you guys. I don't know how long it's going to be after I get done editing it and everything, but I have a feeling this is going to be a long video. So thank you guys for sticking through it if you do, and if not, thanks for checking out anyway. Or excuse me, thanks for checking the video out anyway. All we have to do is sit through this loading screen here. I'll read that. Well, never mind. I was going to say I'll read that for you, but hopefully if you guys wanted to read it, you could pause on the objective. Now, I'm about to drink a drink, and if you guys recognize what it is, I want you to know that I am not endorsed in any way, shape, form, or fashion by the company that produces the drink that I'm about to drink. So please don't read too much into it. I'm just thirsty. I will say, however, that I survived off those when I was in the military. So here we go. Let me give it a little bit more volume. Sorry about all the shuffling and everything, as always. And I'll be trying not to skip through this. This episode of Battlefield 1 follows the story loosely of Frederick Bishop, the Pride of Australia, who you can read about as having a very integral part in World War I with, I believe it's the Australian victory against, I think, and I could be wrong about this, please do not hate on me for this, I need to brush up on my history and I'm aware of that, but Frederick Bishop played a very integral part in Australia's victory over the Ottoman Empire, I believe. Again, please feel free to fact check me, and if I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments. I would appreciate it, actually. I don't like getting stuff like this wrong. Alright, so here we go. Dreadnoughts are essentially some of the biggest, largest, and deadliest warships ever produced by any army or any military in any time at any point in time. Or at least it was a nickname for them. So, let's see what else we got. Well, nothing, I guess. For those of you watching this and thinking to yourselves already, if you don't know that much about him, Frederick Bishop tends to be, or rather seems to be, a bit of a, for lack of better terminology, he's kind of a bit of a butthole. But you got to understand, in wartime, literally anything you do incorrectly could end up costing a life, if not several lives. And so, again, that's something that I believe needs to be remembered, that certain things just do not... you gotta be very careful with everything you do in wartime, because you never know when any moment might be your last. Oh, I gotta reload. Hold on, buddy. Again, a disclaimer for those of you that just saw that, it is this bloody. And this is actually putting it lightly. Uh-oh, machine gun nest. See, that would have been death right there. In real war, that would have been death all day. I don't believe I've actually played all the way through this particular story in Battlefield 1, but I don't know how much of it I'll get through. I plan to try and get through the whole thing. Which is why I said that I'm pretty sure this is probably going to end up being a reasonably long video. Oh, that was dumb. Oh, that was dumb. Oh, that was dumb. Been a couple days, guys, just so you know, since I've played this game. Ah, come on. Alright, so... And I will also put a disclaimer on this and say that I am not the best at first-person shooters, though I enjoy them. Just so we're clear, machine gun nest needs to go the way of the birds. Uh-oh, that didn't work. Again, in real war, this would have been death. And I believe that modern video games, including Battlefield 1, for the most part, casualize war. I mean, sure, it's all fun and whatnot, gunning down hundreds of Ottoman soldiers or German soldiers or whatever you happen to be fighting in your first-person shooting game of choice. But it's not like that in real life, and I think it is incredibly important that we make that distinction. So, again, all games, video games featuring first-person shooters in wars of any point in time, they very much casualize war. And I don't know who might or might not be watching this video, but I do want to say that whoever might be watching this video, don't run off and join the war just because, or join the military just because you think it'll be like Call of Duty, because I'm going to assure you right now it's not. There are no respawns, there are no lives. Sure, there are objectives to capture and whatnot, and yeah, I will even admit that I had a lot of fun when I was in the military. And I believe my wife also would probably say that she at least enjoyed herself a little bit. Now, I'm not going to give too much away from it, but she actually got deployed. I never did make it out of the reserves, unfortunately, not due to lack of trying, mind you, but because, quite frankly, when I joined the military, I joined a job that was already very full. I was an electronics technician, and being an electronics technician in the Navy at the time that I was in, electronics technicians were essentially overstaffed, and yet they signed me on anyway. I'm not real sure why they did that, but because I faced those constrictions, or rather restrictions, in the fact that I was an electronics technician, I was not. Basically, they didn't have any place for me. There's no real way to put that outside of that. They just didn't have a place for me. Again, not for lack of trying. Believe me, I tried to go active quite a few times actually, but unfortunately, again, they just did not have room for me. And so, rather than being active duty and serving my military, the reserve unit that I was attached to, and this is a little bit of VladimirCR's personal history, so strap in. The reserve unit that I was attached to at my last reserve base directly served SEAL Team, not SEAL Team 6, but SEAL Team 8. And because we directly served SEAL Team 8, we were very much... Hold on a second. The most accurate war game of any kind that I've played to date. And if you enjoy accurate games that give you a good little bit of history as well, then I wholeheartedly recommend the Battlefield 1 campaign. For those that don't know, the distinction between an Australian or an Aussie and a Kiwi is the fact that Aussies are Australian, and Kiwis, if I'm not mistaken, are from New Zealand. And if I'm wrong about that, please correct me. So, Frederick Bishop may have started this particular part of this campaign as a bit of a not so nice guy, but he does have a heart. Anyone who joins the military more or less has a heart. You know, they want to serve their country. They want to do right by their country. So also, for those that don't know, in the military, or at least in the Navy, there is a difference between yes sir as in the affirmation of a command, and yes sir as in I understand, and that distinction is made by saying I sir, AYE sir, when you are confirming a command, and I sir, or rather yes sir, is used to I sir is used to say basically yes. Yes sir is I understand. So not real sure. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Again, a disclaimer, if you will. I'm not that great at first-person shooters, though I do enjoy them. Just so we're clear. That's why you guys haven't seen me play any multiplayer of this. Ah, come on. That is why you guys haven't seen me play any multiplayer of this. Because, well, that's one of the reasons why you guys haven't seen me play any multiplayer of this game. For one thing, I'm really not that good at it, and I would probably just end up basically embarrassing myself. Whereas, grenade, crap. Whereas, again, I would pretty much just embarrass myself. Oh gosh, there's a lot of them, huh? You know what? If we're gonna do this thing, we're gonna do it right. Technically, to do it right, I would be sneaking through this, I believe. But honestly, when I'm doing a playthrough like this of Battlefield or a similar game, I am more than likely going to attempt not to sneak as much as possible. Because sneaking, first of all, just makes it take longer than it is. Now, granted, if it's a story-based shooter, very much like Metro, if it's a story-based shooter, I don't mind it. But right now, there is not a whole lot of story that you guys are getting from this particular part of the game. Excuse me, I seem to have come down with a temporary case of the hiccups. Pretty sure that was supposed to happen. Whoa, that's something that I did not catch the first time through, I think. Field manuals. Field manuals 1 of 5. Okay. But anyway, oh my, that's a lot of people. Oh, that's a lot of people. They are all heading in the direction that I need to be going. I don't know how well this is going to work, but we're going to find out. Again, since I keep losing my train of thought, apparently nobody saw that. Also, if you guys noticed, I am definitely playing on easy difficulty, because as I've said before, well, first of all, those of you that have listened to what I say when I am in the chat in my friend Exilia77's stream on a regular basis, or on a reasonably regular basis, I play games for stories. I play games for stories and fun. And while I enjoy the odd challenge every once in a while, it's not the main thing that I get out of games. I hardly ever use this stuff. Run, run, run. Just run. Just run. And we'll get right here. We'll mow down some Ottomans. Okay, locate Whitehall. Well, that was easy. Nice shot, kid. Haha. Okay, so also another thing I feel like I need to say, I apologize for all the swearing in the story, but again, war. You know, there's nothing quite like war to put, not necessarily, well, fear, but also to get the course of adrenaline running through your veins. But, unfortunately, you have to be careful and temper yourself. And when I say temper yourself, I mean, just because you got a lot of adrenaline running through you and you feel invincible, does not mean you're invincible. So, don't ever, ever, ever think that you're invincible just because you are essentially more or less excited. So, but anyway, like I've said before, why do I feel like this is an ambush or a trap? I've played through part of this and I thought I played through all of it, but apparently Battlefield seems to think otherwise. Personally, when I'm playing first-person shooters, I like to have the high ground, if I can. Now, all of this notwithstanding, I think that given the fact that this is going to be a bit of a long video, I want to tell you guys how I feel about first-person shooters. Supposedly, not supposedly, but exactly. So, what I was saying... What I was saying is my opinion on Call of Duty and whatnot versus Battlefield. When I originally got Xbox Live, it was in like 2008, I believe. I'm not sure. It was in 2000. It was around that point in time. And it was around 2008. And, night. Anyway, it was yeah. So okay, so it was around 2008. Sorry, I keep getting distracted and losing my train of thought. Okay, when I first got it, the very first online game I played that I really enjoyed was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Anyway, first game I played and enjoyed was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. It's the game that really introduced me to the competitive first-person shooter. And I loved it. It was a great game in my opinion, because it was, I might be just a touch like basically nostalgic about it, but because it was the first game that I ever played on Xbox Live. And so anyway, so I started with Call of Duty. And then I think 2000 maybe 9-ish perhaps, I played Battlefield Bad Company 2 for the first time. And I was introduced to realistic bullet physics. In other words, come on people. I was introduced to realistic bullet physics for snipers. And I was like, this cannot get better. I love Battlefield. And so from that day forth, I have been a Battlefield fan over a Call of Duty fan. Now, I enjoyed Modern Warfare 2. I enjoyed Modern Warfare 2. Now, that being said, sorry guys, I'm in kind of an intense situation, so I might get distracted quite a bit. But anyway, once I played Battlefield Bad Company 2, I was like, I am a Battlefield fan. And I haven't really looked back. Plus, in my opinion, Call of Duty has kind of been repeating the stories. It's the same premise every single time. You know? And Battlefield does the same thing, but at least it does the same thing with realistic bullet physics for snipers and whatnot. I've always been a sniper. I always preferred to be a sniper. It's another thing about war. If you kill somebody, if you inflict bodily harm on somebody, that will haunt you for the rest of your life. Whether you admit it to everybody is immaterial. It doesn't matter. Being in war is stressful. And being in war is quite a bit of a suckathon, basically. War is just terrible all the way around, in my opinion. I'm no pacifist. I own guns, and I'm glad that I own them. But, at the same time, I don't know. I suppose I sound like the next runner-up Miss America, but I really do wish that our world could do without war. I wish that our world could do without tearing itself apart every single time we turn around. But unfortunately, that is not the case. So, unfortunately, this is a bit of a sneaky situation. So, that being said, is that all? Nope. Oop, and there's another one. Anyone else? Yep. Oh, there's a sniper up there too. And he almost sees me. Alright. Anyway, in my opinion, again, I'm not a pacifist, but war is pointless. In my opinion. Honestly, if you guys want the full story of why I joined the military, then it's not a story of heroism. It's not a story of looking for my glory. It's basically a story of I was 19 years old, and I was still living at home with my mother, which I know is not necessarily a big deal, but I was 19, I was living at home with my mother, and I was trying to go to college. And I went through one semester of college. Again, I was your straight A student, you know, through high school. And being a straight A student through high school, I thought that college would be reasonably easy for me. And so, that being said, I started college to be a psychologist. Psychology was my major. Sorry, if you guys are wondering what I'm looking at that sniper up there, because I do not need him to detect me right now. Anyway, so I went through college. Again, I was your straight A student through high school. Went through college, and I did 5 classes in one semester. It was the winter semester of 2010. And unfortunately, I wanted to have a social life more than I wanted to study. So rather than actually taking the time to do college right, I ended up, you know, playing games a lot. I ended up, you know, hanging out with my friend a lot. And, you know, and everything was great at the time. And then it came to finals time, and I got my transcript or whatever you call it. And I got 2 C's, 2 D's, and an F. Yeah. Went from straight A student to 2 C's, 2 D's, and an F is not a good thing. So I was not distraught by any means. I always wondered if I was going to make it through or what have you, but I didn't do so well. And so then I was like, well, I still want to go to college, but I lost my Hope Scholarship. So I was like, well, now I got to find some way to pay for college. So, of course, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Pardon me, by the way, for coughing all over you guys. But what's the first thing that came to mind? Why, the military, of course. You join the military, you stick around for about 4 years or so, and you get your college paid for. You know, no problems. So I was like, all right, that's an awesome idea. I'll do that. So off I went to my nearest recruiting station, which was a Navy recruiting station. Hold on a second. I'll continue in just a minute. Time to dig in, boys. What a heartwarming scene. Wow. I don't really need to use the binoculars, but I'm going to choose to for now. Alright, here we go. Shut up. We're going to hope that he doesn't turn around randomly. We're going to go up here and eliminate this guy. Uh-oh, 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 oh no, oh no, oh no. Where's that guy above me going? What in the world am I going to do? Anyway, like I said, my story of joining the military is anything but valorous. I joined because I needed a way to pay for college. Granted, when I finally signed the paperwork, of course, I felt the surge of pride that anybody else would feel for knowing that they're signing up to do their country some good. But I knew that I was doing it for my own purposes. And if you guys want to hate me for that, then that's fine. But somewhere through basic training, I really realized that, you know, there are worse things, you know, than being in the military. For sure. By a long shot, there are worse things. Because as I was, you know, younger, I was always saying, I'm never going to join the military, I'm never going to join the military. Well, what's the old phrase about something is born from necessity? Decisions are born from necessity, or something such similar to that. Anyway, so basically what I'm saying is my decision to join the military was born out of necessity, not out of an underlying love for my country, which, again, after I got through basic training, I learned what it meant to actually, you know, serve the military and to do my part in the military, essentially. So, of course, again, I felt very prideful. Ah, doggone it, I figured I'd screw that up. Kind of hoping, sniper, I was kind of hoping that I could do that without oh god, he threw a grenade at me. That was a heck of a throw, wasn't it? Oh well. No more sneaking. Time to do this thing right. Well, interesting. There we go. Yeah, again, I play on easy mode, so that would never have flown in real life. Again, wasn't expecting that. Oh, those guys died anyway, huh? There we go. I kind of just aiming blind at this point because I can't see. Luckily, there's an auto aim feature. Again, I'm not good at first-person shooters, so you guys don't hold it against me. Remember, the whole reason of me playing this game is not to show you guys how awesome I am at first-person shooters. It's not the intention. It's not the intention. It's in order to remind people that, you know, war is not fun, it's not easy, and you just have to do what you have to do in war. I mean, there's just no two ways around it. And again, to honor our veterans, I couldn't think of really a better way or a better game to play. But anyway. Ah, come on. In my opinion, I think that first-person shooter games, while excellent, like Battlefield 1 and I guess Call of Duty World War II as well, which I have not played yet, but I think that, first of all, I think they casualize war a little bit too much. War is not something that's fun. Oh God. Yeah, again, if you go up against a flamethrower in World War I, there is a very, very, very slight chance that you might survive. And if you do, I assure you, you will not want to. Burns are some of the worst and hardest injuries to treat. What do we have in here? We got to use something to take that guy out with. Yes, I will take that. No. Where's my grenades? Where are my grenades, rather? It's basically a boss fight, more or less. Let's see. There we go. But anyway, I think that the game market needs to shift their focus away from first-person shooters for a little while, at least war-based first-person shooters. But I'm not a AAA game producer, so of course no one's going to listen to me. We've been going for 45 minutes now, according to my clock over there. Not going to end well. very hard to survive being shot, stabbed, wounded like that in World War I. So let's just pause for a moment and take in this moment right here. Savage fighting continued for 9 months, but would ultimately result in a hard-won victory against the Ottomans. They held Gallipoli. Almost 100,000 Ottoman soldiers gave their lives while defending their homeland. From their ranks came the battle-proven leaders that would go on to found the Republic of Turkey. For the first time, Australians and New Zealanders fought under their own flag. Tales of heroism and mateship were pivotal in forging their national identities. Yep. I figured that would be... Did I seriously get an achievement for that? I've already done this, guys. I promise I have. I remember that ending. But anyway, I figured that would be one of the best missions to do to really show what war is like and why, in my opinion, it's more or less not pointless, but it's a hard fought thing. And there's a lot of stuff that people don't consider when signing up for the military or even on Veterans Day or Memorial Day, Independence Day. What is Independence Day to most people, especially in America? It's a day to drink. It's a day to get together with friends. It's a day to I don't know, celebrate for whatever reason. It's like St. Patrick's Day in the States. First of all, why do we celebrate it? There's not a whole lot of us in America that are Irish through and through. But anyway, I'm not going to ramble about that. I did just want to play through that part of the campaign to just show you guys, that we shouldn't ever forget the hard-fought battles of World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Korea, the Gulf War, and our current war on terror or war in Afghanistan, or whatever you want to call it. And again, Veterans Day is something that's very important to remember and not just think of it as, okay, some guys went off and fought somewhere and that's cool and everything. It's not. That is a very casualized way to look at it, and quite frankly, if you do look at it that way, then I don't know, we can't be friends, I'll tell you that. War is not an easy thing. So I apologize, by the way, if this episode or this video aired on the serious side. I realize that I'm more of a happy, upbeat person normally, but Veterans Day, in my opinion, kind of holds a special place for me. Not just because I'm a veteran, not just because my wife's a veteran, but because it's our history. And when I say our, I don't just mean the United States of America. I mean all the allies. I even mean all of our enemies. It's our history being written every day right before our eyes. And people go on about their oblivious ways and, don't even bother to stop and thank a veteran, or, don't even bother to do anything special for veterans or anything like that. Which, again, I mean, I just wish, I don't know, again, I'm not going to go all morose on you guys. Don't worry, I promise that the next episode, which I may or may not record today, actually, but the next episode, or whatever game I plan on playing next, won't be this serious. Be more upbeat and happy, because that's what I want. But again, Veterans Day is an important holiday to me, and I don't even really like calling it a holiday. But that's basically what it is. But in any case, guys, thank you guys so much once again for tuning in. I appreciate it. Thank you for bearing with me through the seriousness of this video, and I hope that you guys come back for the next video, which again will be very much more happy than this one, or at least more upbeat. For those of you that have thanked a veteran, or that have veterans in your family, or know a veteran, or even if you don't know a veteran. Thank you guys so much for your respect and your adoration. We really appreciate it. Speaking not just for myself, but also for my wife and the rest of the veterans of the world, of all wars. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Tune in next time. I don't know what I'm going to be recording next time. Again, I might do it today. I don't know yet. But in any case, I'm intending to be a lot better off for next video. More happy, more awesome. But thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. I've rambled on long enough. So if you like the video, please press the like button. If you really like the video, subscribe. And if you do subscribe, there will be a little bell icon next to the subscribe or the subscribed button. If you press that, every single time I upload a video, you will be one of the first people to know. Which means you will never fall behind on my videos. You will never not know when I put up a video, because I know I can tend to be a little sporadic from time to time. But having a full-time job and a wife and whatnot, as well as doing this, it's very time consuming. So I'm sorry I can't be more regular. I'm hoping to improve on that in the future. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, everything. The whole 9 yards. I want to hear from you guys. And finally, without further ado, I appreciate it. You guys have a great day, and I'll hopefully catch you for the next video. Vladimir out.